Good afternoon. I just wanted to get on here and do a short vlog. Um, Many of you know that I am fighting a battle that no one wants to fight, going after the people that put my son in harm's way, and the funeral home that destroyed my son's funeral. Anyway, it's something I think about every day. I relive that funeral scene every single day, but I was turned down last week in the federal court, and I've been turned down 7 times so far. Still never have had a trial date. But I have to tell you this. I can't make this up. I was turned down, and I'm going to tell you, I threw in the towel. But I was feeling sorry for myself, and I just couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't understand. All I'm asking for is accountability. And in the beginning, all I wanted was an apology, and I couldn't even get that. But so I'm going to church on Sunday, and my husband always listens to David Jeremiah on the radio. And we're listening to it on the way to church. And David Jeremiah, he's from Turning Point, and it's a radio station. And he starts telling a story about a professional football player, and they were in a crucial game. And the football player catches an interception, and he starts running, and he's running all the way down the field, but he's running the wrong way. And finally, one of his people on the team tackle him, and he just can't believe it. He gets up like, what the heck? And he realizes he was running the wrong way, and he felt like an idiot. And I'm not really sure how the story goes, but the other team somehow got a safety, and it put the other team ahead, and he just felt horrible. So it's halftime, and they go into the locker room, and the coach is giving the big spiel, and this guy is sitting over in a corner with a towel over his head, and he's literally crying. He is crying. He not only screwed up the game, but feels like an idiot, and is just over there pouting. And the coach says, okay, let's go. We're gonna turn this around, and everyone that played in the first half is gonna play in the second half. And he didn't move. Everybody's getting ready to leave, and the coach says, did you hear me? Talking to the guy with the towel over his head. He didn't move. The coach goes over to him, puts his hand on his shoulder, and says, come on, you're gonna start the second half. And he said, I can't, coach. He said, I can't. He said, I cannot. He said, I am humiliated. I'm ashamed. I've let the team down. I've let people down. I can't go out there. And he said, really? He said, we can turn this around. We can make things right. And he said, I can't go out there. And then the coach says, let me get this straight. You know, Jesus died on the cross for us. He didn't do anything wrong. Can you imagine the humiliation? And he lived a perfect life, the only one ever. But he did that for us. And you can't get out there and help your teammate? Well, of course, that little pep talk got him up. And people say that second half, he played like no other. They won, and because of this guy, and he played, but just realizing, quit feeling sorry for yourself. Get back up and do what you need to do. Well, went to church. I got home, and I kept thinking about David Jeremiah's talk on the Turning Point radio. And I said, heck with it. I'm not throwing in the towel. I'm not giving up. This is my son here. What they did was wrong. I live this every single day, and I can guarantee you, if the funeral home would just take a step back and put their son or daughter in the casket, I guarantee you they would not have let this happen. So I spent all afternoon writing this complaint that I filed today, by the way. But I spent all afternoon writing this complaint. And by about 6 o'clock, I was exhausted. My husband says, come on, let's go get a bite to eat. And I said, no, I don't feel like it. And I don't want to have to get ready. And I was pouting a little bit, but I was just exhausted. And he said, come on, let's go. He said, no one's at the boathouse at this time. Let's go to the boathouse in Hopewell. So I said, well, hopefully no one's there, because I didn't even freshen up my face or anything. I looked horrible. We get to the boathouse and it is packed. I mean, there's no place to park. We had to park a mile away. I thought, figures. So we walk up to the door, and there's a sign on the door. I can't make this up now. Y'all have to listen to this. There's a sign on the door, on both doors, and it says closed to the public. And I thought, well, would you look at that? And then I read the sign, and it says closed for JT Morse, some type of celebration, or maybe their Christmas party they missed or something. I'm not sure, but the entire place was filled with members of JT Morse for some type of celebration. Now remember, all day long I've been writing a suit or a complaint against them. And I just sat there for a second. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, what are the odds? What are the chances that I finally change my mind to do something about it, and the place I go to eat is closed down by the very place I'm writing the suit for? There's no chance. The odds. I should have gone and bought a lottery ticket, but I didn't. But I guess God has a sense of humor. I don't know. Or maybe it was my son Troy giving me a sign saying I'm doing the right thing. Either way, it's one of those moments where you say, but God.